You are the most important project you will ever work on. You are the most important investment you will ever make.
Try and explain it to the blind. May you wake up from inside. See the truth through the third eye. Let your heart be your guide. Light up the way. Let your heart be your guide. Free from your pain, it ain't a mistake, 'cause you choose your fate.
Your life is about you. It's all about you. You are the most important. And at 34 years young, I am learning to reparent myself. You know, there's been this journey of healing that's really had no direction. And all of it has led me to this now moment where I'm realizing, oh, those feelings, they don't just go away because they're stored in the belief that I hold of myself. And so now I have to reparent myself to change those beliefs and view myself differently, view my life differently, view the world differently. You know, most of you listening that resonate with my energy, you have been so focused on the external your entire life, right? We have been so focused outward for safety, for security, for validation, for recognition, for acknowledgement, to feel important, right? To be a priority. And you've been scanning your world, your life outwardly, your whole life. You've never been self-focused. And I've never been self-focused, you know? So at 34 years young, I am learning to reparent myself. I'm taking a course for rapid transformational therapy. And so through my course, I've been doing my own healing work and my own reparenting of myself. And it's taken me kind of on this roller coaster because you really see yourself differently. You see clearly how you have been self-sabotaging. You have been the one that has put everybody before you and never really known what it was to be self-focused. If you guys have been listening to my podcast, I posted a couple podcasts ago about, you know, my sisters and I going through the same trauma, but reacting differently to that trauma in our life. And both my sisters have been able to focus solely on themselves and build and grow and have a very healthy life. These really great careers, these healthy relationships. And I went the opposite way to them. In my childhood, I was so focused externally for safety because of what I went through. And so that made me somebody who has been so focused on the external my entire life that everything outside of me has just been able to rock me always. And in the 34 years of being here, I've started to realize how there's been so much control from the things outside of me that now I'm learning to be self-focused. That's something that we have to be taught. We have to learn ourselves, right? I'm learning that from my sisters at 34 years young. I'm learning to observe their life and how they kind of maneuver in their life in a healthier way. Most of you listening have never, ever known what it was to be self-focused, right? And it's not too late to learn. It's never too late. It is never too late to learn. And, you know, I was sitting with my sister the other day for dinner. She came to New York and she's on a work trip. And, you know, she's got all these great, amazing things going with her career. And I'm just so proud of her. It's my little sister. And we're sitting at dinner and was so emotional. And it's because I had, in my course, we have to train. So we have to practice with other students. And, if you guys don't know what rapid transformational therapy, it's hypnotherapy. Basically, I'm so excited to be on this venture to be a hypnotherapist because it's fascinating stuff. You know, all of our beliefs and our memories are stored in our subconscious mind. We use only 5% of our conscious mind, and 95% of how we maneuver in our life is through our subconscious mind. And so through hypnotherapy is we calm the nervous system. And I can't hypnotize you. You have to hypnotize yourself. Through hypnosis, you are fully consciously aware of everything. You're actually more hyper consciously aware because your nervous system is asleep. And so you're able to bring those thoughts and memories and revelations through your subconscious mind to the forefront, where you get these really profound moments of understanding. And I mean, if you guys have been following my work, this is what I'm here to do, help people understand themselves so that they can become the best versions of themselves. Free yourself from your past. And so it really just aligned perfectly that I'm taking this course for rapid transformational therapy. And through the course, it's brought a lot of healing on to myself. And, you know, they say this about the course is it does, you know, bring a lot of healing to its students. And so we have to practice on each other. And the other day I was in my state of hypnosis, and my partner, she guided me through the hypnosis, and then we brought up these memories, and it's really fascinating. You guys know that I've spoke, you know, if you've been following my podcast, that I spoke of past memories, where my first memory, even being on the plane with my mom, coming back from Jamaica, my little baby sister, I was probably 2.5 years old, and there's 3 seats on the plane, right? So it's me on the aisle seat, my mom and my baby sister in her lap, and then the empty seat beside my mom. And my father and my older sister were sitting at the back of the plane. And, you know, I'm like 2.5 years old. This is my first memory. It's crazy. The lady, the flight attendant is yelling at my mom to put my baby sister beside her. And my mom is having a low blood sugar. She's type 1 diabetic. So she doesn't know what's going on at all. My mom, when she goes into low blood sugar, it's like she leaves her body, like she's just in outer space and she doesn't know what's going on. So I'm yelling at the flight attendant to get my dad, from the back of the plane, because she's having low blood sugar. And, you know, I'm trying to yell at the flight attendant to get my dad, and the flight attendant's yelling at my mom to put my baby sister beside her, that they're not going to take off the plane until you put the baby beside her. And she's not understanding that my mom is having an episode, right? So finally they get my dad, and my dad tends to my mom and my baby sister. And it's so profound because in hypnosis, this is a memory I've always had, right? In my conscious mind, I just explained it to you guys from my conscious awareness of having that moment and that memory, right? But in hypnosis, I'm I'm observing myself. But in hypnosis, you bring up the feelings. You are able to feel exactly what you're feeling in that moment, because not only do you store your memories in your subconscious mind, but also the feelings and the awareness that you were experiencing in that memory. And this all creates our beliefs, right? And so going deep into that moment in that memory and feeling myself as a little 2.5-year-old little Misha, I was able to realize that my dad came to the front of the plane with my older sister stayed at the back of the plane or whatever in her seat. My dad ran up to us, grabbed my baby sister, because obviously she's like a baby. She's an infant. He's going to make sure that he's got her. And then my dad catered to my mother who needed medical assistance, right? And I'm just there feeling so much panic, feeling so much fear, feeling so much anxiety. And I feel so left out. I feel so like unseen, not important, right? Not important, not a priority. And I wasn't in that situation because there was a medical, emergency happening. But to go all the way back there, feel those feelings, observe the entire memory playing out, and to know exactly how I felt in that moment and what I took on as the belief in that moment of like not being important, not being a priority, not mattering, I don't matter, right? And that's not true at all. In my adult life now, I know, okay, that's not true, that there was something going on that you had no control over. And I told my little sister this the other day at dinner, and she was just like, wow, like you must have felt this way your whole life. Your whole life, you take on these beliefs of yourself. My whole life. And not only that memory, there's so many memories like that, because once you store in your mind that that is a belief of who you are, unimportant, not a priority, you take that on as your truth. And then when that is your truth, you then live and play out your entire life with these beliefs of yourself. And so they're going to show up and manifest in so many different situations and scenarios for yourself, right? Not feeling like you're good enough is going to play out in so many ways for you. And so now at 34, going through this course, I'm going to be the most incredible rapid transformational therapist, life coach, ever. And I believe that of myself, right? That's something that I know. The talent is there, the intuition. I mean, everything I've gone through has led me to this now moment where I'm able to give back. But first, I come first. Self-focused. I've never been self-focused, right? Completing the course. One thing that I recognized about myself since I've started this course is that I always start things and I don't finish them. To be honest with you guys, this podcast is the most consistent thing I've ever had in my life, and it's not even consistent. So if that can give you a good example of, somebody who, and, take it from me, guys, like I'm really just here being accountable for who I am and how I've shown up, and really the life that I have had, who's created, this version of me that I don't want to be anymore. But I can honor it because I'm able to self-reflect, right? I start things I don't finish because that belief of me not being good enough, so why would you even bother, is so loud in who I am. At my entire life it was, to a point that now 34 years young, we got to change that because, hello, the life that I do desire requires a new version of me. And so I have been going down this rabbit hole of healing, and I'm not going to give up on myself. And this is a message for you not to give up on yourself. You are the most important project you will ever work on. At 34 years young, I'm really diving into this internal self project, becoming the version that I desire to be. And it's never too late for you to start. You could be 85 years young, starting yourself on your healing and self-mastery journey, your journey to self. It's always been a journey about the self. And so if you are listening to this and you're somebody that you feel that deepness of inadequacy, and, maybe you have to sit and ask yourself really that tough question. Do you believe that you're worthy of the best life? And we can say, yeah, of course I do. Of course I do. But then we're going to show up in our world putting others before us and putting things off that are important to us and putting our self-care off and, having these really tumultuous relationships where we don't feel chosen or we don't feel good enough. And so we have ourselves showing up in the world a certain type of way based on the beliefs that we're holding of ourselves. You are the most important project you will ever work on. And to really learn this new version of you, to start feeling like you're deserving. And let me tell you, it's taken me forever to start to, put these affirmations of feeling deserving and worthy in, and really starting to believe them. For years of this podcast, I've just been saying them, but you can't start to believe them until you go back to the reason why you don't believe them. And so I cannot wait to pass my course for rapid transformational therapy. Until then, I won't be able to practice because that, I have to have my certification first. But if you would like to invest in yourself and book a personal session with me for healing and self-mastery work, the way that I've been doing it prior to my RTT, I am available for that. You can book a session with me, booking at feelswithmish.com. You are the most important project you'll ever work on. And you deserve to be the priority of your life. I love you guys. I hope you have an amazing, beautiful, positive day because you absolutely deserve it.
Try and explain it to the blind. May you wake up from inside. See the truth through the third eye. Let your heart be your guide. Light up the way. Let your heart be your guide. Free from your pain, it ain't a mistake, 'cause you choose your fate.